So actually, we're gonna visit our Amazon base of books, and this is a trilogy of our set block research. The first version on it, of it, probably I'm gonna see how we respond to the market. So you can learn about the technology we have built. You're going to give us the credit of the writing, the 3 copyrights, and also knowing where the concept comes from. If you're interested to integrate services based upon this research, we can have a prompt discussion. I'm gonna like that. Probably you're gonna have the outcome you want, and both sides, you and I, gonna make the most out of all of this. For those who have interest in technologies, so I'm gonna go first on my account. So I'm gonna click as an editor. So you're going to see all of these books. I'm working actually on the Hurricane and the 7 figures into the billionaire scale. The nice thing, there will be available by 2024. This open for pre-order, so you can be on the list, so you can be the first one to be had by supporting our pre-order stage. So this is all books we have here. So, and this is the all point we have. We earn 400 for this certain book and 200 for those all other kind of. So, and yes, I'm working also on this Back into Earth, which is the Enteron reactive, the story of the planets. So kind of we make some decision and things become kind of bad for human being to support staying on Earth. So we found a way to get out and to find other places on the universe, starting by the moon as a transit for the trip. So after the moon, the story will be Mars and other planets, mostly planets for resources. Other planets do have what we want. Probably we can find with in other planets. Probably gonna explore on the book. So the story is starting by Ray Hakti. We're gonna lose his pet, and then what's gonna happen? They're gonna offer him, because like every kids, it's happened that when you lose something, you won't have it back. So you hope that if you have it back, you're gonna have something equal or better. So sadness happened, at the time. So and gonna try to find way to try to make you don't feel that sad of how life is, life. So, and for this book, and they brought him a robot. The robot was accepted the things, just like probably the robots was kind of better than having a cat. But it's always a good thing to see reactive parents, for young kids. And as it was Christmas, having a gift before everybody, really in the house, really makes sense at the sadness level. So the sad part of it won't be there, so they'll be rejoicing. To rejoice Christmas for a kid after using his pet. So and then, as it was a robot, it's where the interest started. All kind of things around robotics. We grew up with a lot of things based on things we have been through or we have been with in our childhood, Sometimes it can have the power to direct your life into a certain profession, or sometimes it can give you interest to become a builder, a creator, why not a scientist? So, and a kid end up to develop for his first job at a certain, because they have corporation or leagues, you can name it corporation leagues or companies, The man was the Future Society, and then the other one was the Aura League. There wasn't really both antagonists, but kind of, because Aura League really believe in that nostalgic part of human heart, that the best thing to do is to go back to Earth. And probably learning, that's my assumption, probably learning from our mistakes when solving what we have been wasting. But it's really hard at that time for people to make a living. And why the Future Society motto was kind of accepting that Aura League concept, but first grabbing things from elsewhere, but also finding a shelter, a place, where to build up something close or something livable for the humankind. So we're gonna have more tools and also more time to think about what we're gonna do with those tools when backing into Earth. So the motto was expansionism with progressism. So, and then there's description of what used, what kind of technology created, the needs of getting water from planet with a lot of water, treating them through some kind of technologies, and to be able to be consumed by plant we're gonna grow or ourselves to drink, So our technology is around recreating or kind of a place elsewhere other than Earth for humankind to make a living and to start building new places to make a living, So, and then after learning from this planet, building more sophisticated tools, we're gonna come back to Earth well equipped, mentally and physically, technologically, to solve problem and issue, just like the Aura League believe it. Antelo will be the first robot after we grow up an adult when working for one of these two Future Society company. It was an Antelo robot with an AI, embedded AI, for Turing test, and even more, So that's the things. So you're gonna be probably an anime, a 3D anime, probably some books like comics, who knows. Let's see what's gonna comes up out of it. So we need talent, we need people master those technology used on the field of 3D, writing comics, let's say illustration for comics, because it's and the story will be right, just like find a way to match bubbles on the comics books with images, those kind of things. So I'm gonna, because the intent was to go on the account, so I can see my name here. I'm gonna click. So 400 points. Someday, like 2 months ago, it was at 600. I don't know what happened. It goes down at 400. So whatever. Let's see what's gonna come up soon. So I write a complaint about it to Amazon to try to see why it back up to 600. It's not really normal. So these are books we have available here. These are books also published in different languages from my first book in French, L'Âme du Leader. They have been translating in Spanish, Portuguese, and so on. And the books is there, the last one, 44. L'Âme du Leader is blue, somehow something on the hand, the F on the hand. And there's a second design, it's more friendly to what I like the most, Freddy. And it's a Freddy kind of turn person, not turn on the movie Jack or Jackson. You know, people travel from doors. I don't know, you know what I mean, turn. People on Prometheus, you know, the movie. It's really beautiful. I like that design. So we're gonna go back to Aircon. So Aircon is my actual work on how, because I really have another time to see crypto, how they make money, you know. For Bitcoin, they say there is an algorithm going to solve some kind of puzzle, and then probably there's a proof, there is a work done, and the work produce something. As far as I remember, that's what I heard. No, it can be true or false, but if it's true, I don't really see which kind of puzzle in the world they're solving. At least it can be processing power or HDD power or SSD power, I don't know, some kind of virtual base containers of powers made of CPU and memories for use, like server for gaming. Just like we start putting that kind of things in place with the set block search, but we don't know which one, you know. Probably you see. So I'm gonna just shut down that part to go back to the book, Aircon and Airmax Roadmap, the Cryptomatic of Money. So that's my research, the last book of the research I have done, and I keep working on this book. But the two first kind of okay, probably I'm gonna add more graphs. I have 6 million line of coding on the all platform, and also I have a hosting service I have to handle because the technical office at that place, they are not really the way I want them. But the reason why I want to build a platform, this is a demo or prototype we need for people to be able to see how it looks like, how it works, you know. Those kind of things are really important for investor, capital risk, even business angel, whatever people driving money inside this platform. And also for a company willing to create fast and forward business using an all-in-one crypto platform they can buy with license. And also you buy it, we come to install it, we personalize it just like an ERP or an accounting system like Sage, or I don't know how to name that, client-based server Sage. So you gotta put the accounting chart in place, you gotta put a lot of things in place, you know. Accounting chart means name of for every kind of account, receivable or payable account, you know, account for insurance, account for everything. So you can have two companies with totally different accounting system, because whatever the accounting cycle says almost the same, can be the same, but the system or the chart can be totally different. Reason why with Cerberus I'm really interested about a lot of things like LBOs, because they're mostly driving merge and acquisition. And the caveat with merge and acquisition is just like you pay a lot of money to the intermediary company or the company between those two sides, you know, because you have to be able to translate the first accounting system and chart into the new company. Sometimes they don't just talk the same chart language. So those are things I can add as parentheses or bracket in what I'm presenting. So the Cryptomatic of Money is of money. So, SetBlock Research is building a crypto platform with a coin base on Aircoin theory. And an Aircoin is not meant to be a product nor a service. It's at range between both a product and a service. I think at mid-range. I will have that mid-range. Okay. As you may know, a service is not something you can touch or see. It's a task executed by a certain entity or system for a scheduled financial outcome with landing criteria within a deadline. And a product is something made out, a recipe or methodology following a certain kind of order and available for sale to people. The Aircoin theory is the cryptomathematics or set of cryptomathematics used to explain how everything works on the SetBlock platform to establish all exchanges for transactions and every operation to be able to generate gains or a certain gain. It's the same thing. Okay. Concerning Aircoin, we will first define a basic point to start named initiation, and it can be an initial deposit of a certain currency, a time slot or cycle, or any other cryptocurrency. Then we will put the basis into work, and based upon that time used in the system, it will generate a certain result, return or profit. But every wave drives profit. Okay. So what we have to remember here is to know that Aircoin is a non-tangible asset made of ones and zeros, backed with scheduled profit gain or benefits we named to be wave. So Aircoin will be the coin itself, and every fraction generating from it will be named mark. So we have the Aircoin and its air marks or its marks. It's the same thing. That's what we will be having and have. So if it's not the done, we will be having. If it's done, it's have. It's just like I tried to take the time I will be implementing this one if it's already done, because I not yet 100% integrate everything, because I need a lot of side aside to the SetBlock platform. You have the servers, the generative game platform. So it could be simple, it could be putting numbers, you know. I have an idea about it, so as long as you don't having that idea not yet written, I won't be able to talk about it a lot. So because we work on meme when starting, but I don't believe in random made meme, you know. Personally, I'm a scientist, biostatistics, certified Bloomberg School of Public Health with Johns Hopkins University. I'm really pragmatic with all mathematics I have done, all exact science I have done about things. I'm really Achieve mem for me or for us or for the study or the research program is a mem control and generate it based our own and only on needs. It could be generated through a competition of video game, a business event, or whatever event we will be organizing. So I'm not trying to don't be passive to random event happening online, and we know where they are. We can come with our payment system, adding our part of it, and they're gonna make profit. We're gonna make profit too. So we're gonna explain if your mem make people spend some kind of things. This is our payment system. Put that at the core of the mem, and we have a percentage from you and me. So we all both make profit from that noise, just like a competition for video game happening. Setcoin or Aircoin is the sponsor, so ticket will be purchased by converting into Aircoin at the web page or on the transaction side. That kind of things can, and the mem produce an effect, because I don't know how passive and random mem work to make profits. A bunch of geek or kids making noise online don't necessarily drive into profit, right? It can drive some more drama, more noise, sometimes useless noise. So I don't believe in that kind of things for a business. Just like said someone, one day I was by the San Francisco Harbor, close to the Federal Reserve. I was thinking about the formation of a business between LLC Corporation, C&S Corporation, and it shows up after some minutes I finish. We start talking about all of this, not haircut but crypto stuff, and all thing I remember he said, like, on crypto something like that, and he said rare business, right? I said yes, rare business, because most of crypto, I don't know for what reason, the non-profit. No, I don't understand who gonna file for taxes, and nobody trying to show up because there is no entity. There is company who make trillions of dollars. Banks make billions of dollars, trillions of dollars. They don't hide themselves even to take benefits out of taxes, because tax is not just a filing or payment. It can give you more benefits back. So that one also have to fall on someone. But I feel like some people want to take the responsibility, but when you're going to come to get the benefits, probably you try to show up. And we're going to get caught. They're going to ask you, what did you file previous to your duty? No. So why you need benefits? So that's the funny part of it. People want money, but they don't want to be accountable. So that's what we will be having and have, let's say, or have, and to work in the SetBlock platform to be able to fulfill our three pillars as business principles: privacy, wealth, and freedom. All about those three words. They are not new words, most of the people know what does mean. But for us, we have a much more deep science, Privacy is really an important factor into life, Whatever you have money or not, you want to have your private side where you do your things privately and nobody have to know about it. When you're spending your money, you don't want people to know that it's not really the business. At least there is an investigation, some kind of things can be checked. But for your day-to-day living, you are an adult, nobody have to tell you stuff about how you spend your money and why you spend it, whether they're good or bad. But if you find out that you need advice, you can receive advice from people. But whatever going to happen to your life, you have to be responsible for it. So privacy is almost the side of being safe, almost close to safety. because you don't want to get hurt because the wrong person get inside your circle and get out with the wrong information. It can be mislead a lot of people when the information was totally wrong, So the time you solve that, so we have a lot of problem. So wealth is building wealth, protecting financially your family and yourself. And for us, we intend to build that. That's the intent. And we do that rarely. So, and then we have freedom, financial freedom, the freedom of traveling everywhere and knowing that your money is safe on your crypto wallet, and the freedom of buying things using a sequence of letter and number everywhere in the world really makes sense. You don't have to apply for a card waiting at the bank. If you have problem, you have a outline and you have a series of numbers and letters everywhere you're gonna go to buy things. So opening an account everywhere in the world doesn't really matter for you no more, because every time you're ready, because cryptocurrencies interact with every kind of currencies, so everywhere you're welcome to buy things. Such a beautiful world, right? And everywhere you're welcome to have bonuses, because our platform will work around those rewards-based program with partner. I don't do that myself, Ray, hanging out somewhere, writing numbers. No, we use automation. We use automation. We work with partner, and then we grow our circle of partner, because that's the intent. Professional and serious-based partner. There is no kidding here. There is no random here. And if that happens, we will try to solve that. And for myself, I really had the status quo, and I fight it every day. So that's the things. So we are looking for interesting partners for the distribution of our crypto platform as fast way to build a crypto business through a licensing program. We also have new products, C-Hub or Clever Secure App or Clever App, and services available to fit the US or any other market. Here we have some demo link or prototype demo link, let's say that, for what we built and the milestone we have reached. So we have these all links, the SetBlock platform for the native coin. The native coin is the basic coin, just like the coin you use, like for people to interact. And then we have the corporate coin. The corporate coin is just like a native coin, but it's the corporate coin because it's linking to corporate based activities. Company want to build app with your system. Company want to build a system with your system. Company want to interact with the platform using your systems of encryption through APIs or system of the same kind. They use corporate, and the profit generating around gonna be on corporate based coin. That's the core, the set core, because we have the set core and the set coin, the native coin. Set core is interact at some point with the corporate, based on some kind of algorithm, but they still kind of separate from each other. The set coin itself and the core for corporation activity or for corporate based activities. So you're gonna have a login, you're gonna use, you're gonna have links you're gonna create, you're gonna have things you're gonna monitor. For those who watch my YouTube, you can see a lot of video on YouTube. We have a lot of them. Testing from first testing or platform, Fibonacci testing, a lot of things like crypto-based testing. The first intent test we did on creating a blockchain. We have the first version, and then we have the like the first record was empty, and then I found out way to don't have it empty. We created a non-lazy version when we're creating record from the beginning until the end automatically. So, and now we have this whole platform online available with all CC activate, so people can try to test it, mostly companies, because we need partners. And then we have an example of C app, which is the SW checker. Checker mostly when you open an account, you have a crypto wallet address, a sequence of number, mostly 64 if I'm not wrong, and then we use that wallet to test that it's already online. You use the checker. If it's online and it belongs to us, it's gonna be green. If it's not, sequence number, it will be red. Any wallet address belonging to us, it will be green. That is an evidence or a test of our API, and there is no connection to any database we have, but there is connection through an API. So you don't have to have a lot of password from our every database we have. No, we just have one single place of operation, which is an API or something around what you name to be an API. That's the first illustration on it. And then we have the SBA, which is the self-block authentication technology. It's a kind of multi-factor authentication, but it isn't, because it don't work the same way. It's not built around the same kind of technology, because we use flash memory and we use the push, check, and pull technology. That the difference. We don't use database. At least database can be used on our admin for payment, to record credit card and so on, user, they need some user and such, those kind of things. But the technology himself don't use database. Database are used at the other side, the payment side, because you need to put your name, first name, credit card stuff, you have to be recorded somewhere. But the technology for payment, they have to be recorded somewhere for payment, and payment have to be having history for yourself to be sure that you pay already, and you can even print those payment record with your accounting system. Those kind of things use database, but the technology itself don't use any database. We use flash and Genesis Lab tools for biotech. It's a platform for a lot of tools probably. Who knows, we're gonna have Genesis 1, 2, or Genesis this, Genesis Lab, Genesis whatever. But what I'm trying to say, like, the first intent for me to create this Genesis is because of classification and lab. I have seen a lot of things from my childhood until now happening around me or around the world. I know that things happen. Sometimes we can have an unknown pathogen, virus or bacteria, I don't know what it is, and then we receive the sample and we go to test it anywhere where people can be infected. But the things I'm trying to drive is just like having classification of lab, could be interesting, because you won't bring an unknown sample at any kind of lab. You have to see the classification. So I found out that the classification don't exist yet. So reason why for me having the classification of laboratory makes sense. We can have the highest one, level 3 or alpha, and the alpha can be handled by robots, exclusively by robots, because they are really made for unknown and totally unknown pathogen. If this shows up in the world and you have sample by robot, and robot wanna examine, and you're having the sequencing. So when we're gonna have the sequencing, so we can know how to better appreciate the pathogen, the virus or the kind of bacteria, so we can have more ease to have action to it, and creating using containers filled by robot of this pathogen to send probably to a lower version, because now we have more information about the pathogen. We have been doing testing through a certain kind of reactive or ingredient, reactive or how do you name that? Active ingredient. So we totally showed that the pathogen won't be a danger for medium level laboratories. But that classification in real world, even in US, don't exist. So reason why that tool will drive this kind of tool, and the biotech Genesis will drive this kind of tool. A classification with services on it. So that just a heads up I can give you about that kind of thing. Because, and a known pathogen we found out, I don't know where, in Africa, in Asia, or here in US, or in Europe. Sometimes it can happen without thinking. People can bring that here in Stanford, and we don't know the classification of the lab. You're gonna study, you get infected because you don't know how it reactive, how it react to people, how it spread. Is it a pathogen or a virus spreading from people to people? You don't know, and you're gonna get a full girlfriend, and we're gonna have a party that night. We're all infected, and it spread just fast than the wind, and we all dead by tomorrow morning. That's a story we don't want to write, a story nobody don't want to tell to people. So reason why the Genesis project for me makes sense. So as far I remember, look like I forget nothing about this whole thing, my time is kind of expiring to talk. So I'm gonna wish you to have a nice and wonderful day. Don't forget, my name is Ray Herman Angosio Liwa. I'm U.S. federal tax professional, life coach with tax advices, and I'm also a scientist. Have a nice and wonderful day. And this is my set of book for my research and studies, personal studies. Have a great day.